And we're back. Welcome, Geek Out SA.
Howdy-ho.
I mean, we've been gone for like a week.
It feels like
Or
it's been like
more.
a month, right?
Been like a month.
But I think it
Yeah.
has only been a week.
Well, because
so-
we kind of like skipped a couple in between.
Did we?
Yeah.
No.
Because
Well,
we
one because the wall was missing.
yeah,
Right.
one was a
Right, 'cause-
wall was missing.
Yeah.
The second one, and
we
then after
did
that
one
we
with
did it
Charles,
after
yeah.
that. But then at GenCon we didn't do it because I was at GenCon
Because
and Colleen was
Gen Con.
here.
Yeah, right. Because Gen Con.
So apparently
So-
the dog didn't want to be in here anyway. So she's like, y'all are talking too much. So we
was
were
like,
going to let her
"Nobody's
hang
petting
out.
me."
And they're like, no, I don't want to be in here. She'll probably be in here later knocking down the
She'll come and knock
cameras.
down, and then it'll be a really interesting show with all the cameras all over the place.
Blooper reel.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You'll be like, is Vince doing a Facebook Live video again? Because that camera's all over the place.
So we plan to, keep doing it week by week, and she's coming back. Doing it week by week and stay steady. But we haven't been because of all the stuff that we're doing. And then we're going to be doing more stuff here pretty soon.
We
anyway.
like to do stuff.
Like
We
to,
do
because
stuff.
I like to see what we're going to do during Game Expo because, Game Expo is on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be running the con, and we'll need to somehow do the show.
Yeah.
Live from Game Expo.
Live from Game Expo.
Yeah. We'll see about that.
Well, since we kind of are Game Expo too, so
Yeah.
it's the same people.
It's the same thing.
Pretty
Sus.
much, sus.
Sus. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I haven't even thought that far ahead. So,
Yeah. So, Gen Con recap. We were at Gen Con.
So I didn't get to go to Gen Con for very long because I was doing my
But
college
I
thing.
did.
But you were there
But
for a really
I got
long
to do
time.
there.
So
Matt and I, which Matt is my son, and he used to do Level Up on Geek Out SA, which we haven't done in a very long time because we don't.
he don't want to.
He doesn't want to do it, and we just don't have time for it. So Matt and I went. We went on Wednesday, even though it doesn't start on Wednesday, but there's stuff that happens on Wednesday.
It starts on Wednesday if you want to go to trade days, which I got to go last year. And for me, it was great because there were several seminars during trade days where it was teachers who were showing people how they used games in their classroom. So for me, I really enjoyed that. That was a really good way for me to think about using games in my classroom, which I'd like to do more of, although I'm kind of bogged down with the whole college thing. I tried to do the role-playing game with my GT kids last year, and they kind of didn't get it, and it didn't flesh out the way I wanted it to, so I really need to kind of sit on it and think about it some more. So once I do, I'm definitely going to put that in the blog, but probably my teacher blog, not the Geek Out SA blog. So Trade Days is good for that. Trade Days is also good if you're an indie company. And you're new and you want to meet people and go to seminars and talk to people about like packaging and who to go through to buy cards and tokens and different things that come with the game. So Trade Days is more for like if you're in the industry.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But for that, it's like an extra cost, isn't it?
It
for
is,
Trade
yeah.
Day? So it's definitely worthwhile to check it out because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff for teachers. There's a ton of stuff for teachers.
And I believe for teachers it's free.
Yeah.
I think it is for teachers. It is a free thing that you can go and have a community. So that may be something that I would love to look into doing one of these days, is to do a seminar there at Gen Con. And I'm actually going to talk about something here in a minute on how to use something kind of geeky, kind of gamery in the classroom. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So we'll get back to that. But so that's trade day. So that's on Wednesday. So Wednesday you can get there and go to trade day and get your badge kind of early, right, and do all that stuff. And that was when y'all did the video where you showed the long line of people, right? Was that on Wednesday?
Yeah. And then we did that. And we did that on Facebook. And Craig came over and gave me a big kiss on the head during it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty funny. So and sometimes it takes GenCon to see people that are fairly close to you. So, oh well. I mean, it's nice to see them there.
Yeah, we get to see a lot of our friends like from Dallas and stuff like that. So you definitely kind of tend to go to GenCon to like hang out with friends or friends like. We've made friends at GenCon, so we have a lot of friends in the gaming industry live in California.
Yeah.
So that's one of the times during the year when we get to see our friends and kind of like refresh those relationships and have a nice time and do all of that. So, and I've seen a lot of people posting like, I'm friends with Nicole Lindris from Green Ronin, and she was posting about that, like just having a minute to kind of like refresh those friendships and get that personal interaction, because sometimes we're just interacting like on social media or like through text
or just business all the time. And you just don't get a whole lot of time to socialize as much as you want to.
I think there's still this stigma that people think that the gamers aren't social creatures, right? That we just sit alone in our basements and like, smell weird and like, play games with candles lit or something.
No, we're a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we're fun and interesting and we're social and we do other things and we have lives and we talk to each other about like fixing our houses up. There were several of us that did house repairs this summer and we had seen each other, and so we were talking to each other, about stuff like that. So it's very social, and you sit there at the table with these people and you play these games with people and you talk to them, right? And you interact
and
with
it's
them.
really neat how when you're in the industry, you're going through and these people on a first name basis, and that's really cool. And they're like, I don't want to like throw out any names or anything, but they're cool people. They're high up in the industry.
Yeah.
And you get to hang out with them and joke around with them, and I mean they're just people too.
Yeah.
So
people are people, and
a lot of people are intimidated. In fact, you used to be quite intimidated by some of the people.
Oh, I'm still intimidated. I'm completely and totally intimidated. I am intimidated by like most human beings, though. I just had a really tough time when I was a kid being bullied. I just and it stays with me, even though I'm an adult, like a fairly accomplished adult. People are always telling me that they think how accomplished I am, and I don't. That's just one of those things. Maybe one of these days we'll do a whole bullying thing, but it's something that I don't allow in my classroom. Because it affected me so much. So even when people are nice to me, I think that like in the back of their mind, they're like, get that crap off my lawn kind of like thing. I'm super intimidated by everybody. So I'm not a good person to judge by. But I will go out there and talk to them. It just scares the crud out of me.
It's a lot of fun.
And then I cry in the bathroom later.
So Wednesday, Matt and I were there. We got to go to the Deanna Jones Awards, and that's like not everybody gets to go to that because that's more for people in the industry, and to see who gets that award.
But what's nice is even if you're not in the industry, there's tons of stuff for you to do. There's like every hotel that you can imagine, of course, is booked up with everybody for GenCon.
Well, that was just Wednesday, so we finished that, do that. And then next day, Thursday, first day of GenCon, so we go and film the running of the bulls again.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't think the amount of people didn't go up any this year.
You don't think so?
Well, it didn't.
Oh, it didn't?
No, it didn't.
It was still at that
61,000.
Oh, 61,000.
Yeah. So I think it was like 60,089 something or other.
I wonder if that's because some of these regional shows are making it more possible. You know, there used to be, we talked about this a while ago, that there used to be fewer cons, and now there's so many cons, right? You're inundated with cons. So I wonder if some of the regional shows help it so that people who can't really afford to make that big trip, because it's kind of far for some people.
And it's expensive. And a lot of the stuff that's happening there is like they're building new hotels for GenCon.
Yeah.
Because we take over so much there when we're there that there's no place to stay. And the places that are there to stay at are mega expensive.
Yeah.
For just a regular hotel.
Oh yeah, it ate our lunch. Like this was super expensive. Like we were like ramen for a year and a half. Okay.
Well, hopefully it won't be next year. So we got some things brewing, so it won't be as expensive for us, but
it's worth the experience. Like for me, for a gaming show, like I've said before, I feel like a gaming con is something different. So
it's something different from like a Comic-Con.
Yeah,
definitely from a Comic-Con or like a horror con or anything like that.
When you go on the dealer floor, you get to go and play games.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're there and you get to do stuff. You know, you don't have to pay anything extra. I mean, you have to pay extra if you want to go, like,
play
be
out
in
on the floor.
Yeah, play on the floor, be in the tournaments, be in the events and stuff like that. But let's say there's a brand new game like Bloodborne was coming out, and then that's based on a video game, and you're really interested in that. Or like there was Star Trek Panic that's fairly new, and there was another Star Trek game that was fairly new. And there are several, obviously, games that are fairly new. And you want to try them out before you shell out like 65, 70, 80, whatever.
$100,
it is, right? So that's the nice thing about Gen Con is you're just walking around the floor and you're like, oh, that game looks cool. Oh, that game looks cool, you know? And then a lot of people are showing off stuff that they're going to have. I always forget the name of that place that they make the deck boxes and like the card sleeves. Ultra Pro, I think it is.
Ultra Pro.
Yeah, so they had a really nice display showing some of the stuff. Like they're coming out with One Punch Man is like super popular now, so they're coming
It's not
out with
even
a bunch
out
of
yet.
stuff.
It's just coming.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of where they can
Zelda.
advertise to show what's around the corner.
Yeah, so that's nice
around the
because then
bend.
you get to go and you kind of like know, oh, well, I better start saving because I'm going to lose all my money because I need all the things, you know?
Well, like that's where we got the gravity dice, right?
Yeah, the gravity dice were really cool.
They're so cool.
It's like perfectly balanced, aluminum, like they were pretty
It's
spectacular.
aircraft grade aluminum.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah, we're dice nerds. Like, dice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which reminds me, I'm putting in my whatchamacallit for dice for Game Expo.
Oh, your order. So people can buy dice at
Yeah.
Expo. That's good. Some of the other things we did at Gen Con was we talked to people about starting to come to San Antonio for Game Expo.
Yes.
And we got in contact with people and started to kind of put San Antonio's name out there so that people will know, hey, San Antonio is a really good place to come, to have a regional con, you know, to start things. So I did want to show everybody some of the things that we got that we're going to have at Game Expo. This game is called Flag Dash. And it's kind of a capture the flag type thing. You have your little meeples and your board, and you're like, you all were friends, like the different characters, y'all were friends when you were kids and you used to play capture the flag. And now you're adults and you have these jobs and everything, but you still like hang out and play capture the flag. So this is by Peacekeeper Games, and this is going to be play to win at Game Expo. So the more times you play it, the more tickets you can get, and at the end of the con, we're going to give this away. The other one we got...
And then who's the manufacturer on that
Peacekeeper Games.
Peacekeeper.
The other one we got is Norse Saga, and this is a puzzle battle card game. Now, I haven't played either of these, but I am going to learn how, and we're going to have some GMs that learn how. This one's also going to be play to win, and it has an expansion to it already. This is by Miramorph Games, and it says it's a puzzle card game, so I don't know. I'm going to try it out and see what it's like, and we're going to have this one at Game Expo. And then Gen Con gave us some of these. Legendary is doing a new expansion, Big Trouble in Little China. Upper Deck does
Upper
that.
Deck, yeah.
So they gave us some lanyards. So we need to count them and see how many they gave us. But the first, probably, I think it's 20, 25 people
Yeah.
are going to get, who sign up are going to get that. And then one more thing I want to talk about.
Well, we did an interview. We did 2 interviews when we were at GenCon.
We did. So do you want to talk about your interview first? Because I thought that was pretty cool.
So I did an interview with Altspace VR, Altspace VR, and I talked to Bruce there, and they were doing Boss Monster, which is it was a really popular card game. What, last year or the year before? And well, they put that on VR, virtual reality, and you can use it with like your Samsung Android phone. Everything, but it seems like almost the Oculus Rift. So you got to see me on there with my what they call it, the Riff Rash. On there with the thing around my face, my little raccoon thing.
Yeah, raccoon face.
But it was really cool, and I thought when I got in there, I thought I was gonna get sick.
I thought
because
for sure.
I get motion sickness real easy.
I was like, Vince is gonna hurl on camera. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, I
Catch it
even
all.
got sick on the way to Gen Con on the plane. It was so bad, but there was a ton of turbulence, and I just, even closing my eyes, I felt sick. So I had to spend like $12 at in Dallas just to get some Dramamine.
One of like the newsstand things or whatever. Yeah.
It was expensive. It was really
Yeah, so I thought for
expensive.
sure you were gonna hurl in that VR.
So, but when I was in there, it was just, everything was just timed so perfectly. It just seemed like you were just immersed into the VR. I mean, you'd get to look around. There was like a web browser on the left side. You can turn and look up, and there's like a 3D dragon's head coming into the room. And it was set up kind of like a tavern dungeon type of looking place.
It looks similar to the setup that they have for D&D. So I know that they're working to expand out on that because they already do the D&D. So I'm sure they already kind of had that set up, and Boss Monster went along with it. So it probably wasn't too much additional coding that they were going to have to do. Because Boss Monster is a card game. So you're really playing the card game in virtual reality.
Right.
It's not like the bosses and stuff come to life in the virtual reality.
Right.
It's just you playing the card game. So the nice thing about it is you could play with people all over the country.
And it's more social. Well, you can hear each other when you're talking. Like we were talking to somebody from Alabama at Gen Con.
Yeah.
And
so
you can shoot
cool.
off like emojis and do all this cool stuff. You can like press on the card so you can view it. That's right in front of you. So there's a ton of stuff that you can do. In fact, he was telling me it's not just for Boss Monster. They're doing it for D&D. And for D&D, there's like a chandelier up on the top, and I think we show it on the video. There's a chandelier up at the top with dice on there. And then you're able to roll the dice from there and just pull from there and roll it.
I don't know what's more fun, actually playing, because I didn't actually get to play in the VR, because they had quite the long line and we didn't want to jump in and take their whole time up. Doing that or watching you guys. I just had as much fun like watching you and Bruce on the outside because you're like doing this and you're turning and
well, because you can go in and it senses your hands.
Yeah,
so
I
you
could
have
see
some
all
VR
y'all playing
hands.
rock, paper, scissors, and your hands way over here and his hands way over here. But on the screen, y'all are together, so it was just funny, like watching y'all from the outside, and everybody kind of gets a giggle from that. So it's almost as much fun, like watching your friends do it, as it is to like be in there and do it. So I thought it looked fun.
But when Bruce was talking about it, because I said I thought I was going to get sick, it's all of that was done intentionally. I think it's like 20 milliseconds or something he was saying about that something needs to be done so it seems to transition well for you, so it feels like your hand is moving right, and when you turn, it's turning with you exactly the way it should be.
Right.
Otherwise I would get sick, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
I had a lot of fun in there, and I learned how to play Boss Monster, sort of, kind of.
I would like to see that happening more and more games being on there so that people could play across the country with each other. I think that would be a really, really fun thing for people to be able to do, is to see.
And
their
if you
friends.
don't have like the Oculus Rift, or you don't have like the Samsung VR headset, you can still do it like on your computer. It's just you're not as immersed into it. You can see everything and like move around with your mouse, but it's
not
not
quite the
as
same.
it's not as cool as being immersed in it like that. So, it's all good. I like it. But yeah, no, I can't wait to see more that's on there, and I'm definitely going to check it out more. But it's altspacevr.com or altspace.com. So check that out if you want to sign up or check that out, or if you have the Oculus Rift or you have the Samsung VR gear or whatever it's called, which I don't
Yet.
but I may want it.
Now that he knows about this, it'll be coming. So I also got to do an interview. We kind of were sparing on the interviews just because I was going to be there late. So we only got to do 2 this year. I got to do an interview with Ivan Van Norman. And apparently he's on like Geek and Sundry, and he was
the first king of the
nerds or something. I don't know. Again, I'm not good with like celebrities and stuff. I just knew that he wrote a cute little book, and he's friends with one of my friends, and I just thought that this was really spectacular, so I wanted to kind of show it off. A is for adventure, may you always be on one. B is for book, the source of all of our fun. C is for creatures of every shape and size. You know, and it goes on like that. Very cute, right? It's good. There are 2 things that this is good for. This is really great for a parent who is trying to introduce their child to role-playing games. And even before you introduce them to the role-playing games, it's to get them in this zone of imagination, because it takes a certain type of imagination to play a role-playing game. Because you're just sitting there at a table with your friends, and you have to imagine, to be a really good role player, you have to imagine yourself as the character, so you're almost an actor. And then you have to imagine the scenes and everything that you are inside of. So this kind of gives children a beginning look at what that's like. So that was one of the things I really liked about that. The other thing is you can get the ABCs of RPGs activity book. So it's kind of like a coloring book. It has the different pictures are in black and white, and you could color them in. The nice thing I like about this is if you're a parent or you're a teacher who loves role-playing games, and you want to expose people to your genre, but do it in such a way that you're teaching them something or you're doing something, there are some really great ways in here. I mean, these are just begging for like captions or for stories to go along with them. So it would be really simple for some of these just to have students or have your personal children write a story about what's happening with them. What do you think is happening next? It teaches things like inferencing and being able to look at different things. It's good for children who may not know, what different facial expressions mean, or like here the kobolds seem pretty happy. Well, why do you think they're happy?
Yeah.
So that would be just a really easy way.
About?
Like, what are they thinking about?
Yeah.
You could write little captions for them. You could write little stories. There's different ways. I'm going to talk about this in my blog. I'm not going to go over everything right now. I want to go over it in my blog.
Yeah.
So I will put that up.
Oh, and hi, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. I'll put that up
from
on the
Nolan
Geek Out.
C 3D Printworks. So
Yes, Mr. Printerman.
he's actually printing some stuff from my laser printer, our laser engraver cutter.
He's printing things for your laser engraver?
Yeah. It's going to be really cool.
It's going to be really cool.
It's really awesome.
So I'm going to put up the information on Geek Out SA when I go over that and give more teachery information on how you can bring this kind of stuff into your teaching. I have science ideas as well on how you can use this. It's really easy to do, actually. The other thing is the person that got us in contact in order to get this interview was Doug Chadwick and his wife Jean, and they do the Literacy Club. So the other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is we're about to install our little free library.
Finally.
Finally, we got
we're
everything.
able
All
to
of our
do
ducks are in a row from the Parks and Recreation people. So on August the 20th at noon, we're going to install our library. So if you would like to come and donate books to us, if you would like to come and cosplay and read to the kids, that would be super phenomenal. So I'm going to try to contact people and get these things going on. Our neighborhood is pretty huge. We're in Heritage. I think there's like 5,000 people in this neighborhood or something.
No, I think it's more than that
Yeah.
because it's the biggest neighborhood in San Antonio.
Yeah. That was what we had heard, that it was the biggest. So I don't know how true that is, but it's big. It's huge. So there's a lot of people that you can reach. We are in what's considered a Title I area, a low income area. So a lot of the kids in our neighborhood, they don't have people to spend time with them. They don't have things of their own. They don't have anybody reading to them or encouraging them if they like to read. So this was really something that was important to us. So I wanted to say thanks to Jean and Doug. They sent us a ton of books, which I've showed you guys before, a ton of geeky books, which is great because we get to share our love of nerdiness while getting the kids to read.
And they got us in contact with a little free library, and they gave us a free library. So that we're going to make minor adjustments to and make it our own.
Yes, we will be doing that this weekend. So it will be very geeky. So that was all the stuff that I wanted to talk about as far as like teachery stuff and literacy stuff. So I'm going to be posting more stuff out there. So if you'd like to help, if you'd like to donate, if you'd like to come out and read to the kids, I would really love for that to happen. So please get in contact with us at Geek Out SA on our Facebook page and just send us a message, and we'll definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
August 20th.
Because it wouldn't be very strange if you did that. But talking about strange, we just saw all of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yeah.
Because they were stranger than strange. Winona Ryder's pretty strange, so you had to know.
She's pretty strange
involved.
already.
Yeah, period.
She herself is strange and unusual.
Just to
Little
have her
Beetlejuice.
involved, was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be wacky.
It's like, oh, is she gonna steal anything?
Oh,
Oh,
dang, that's
shoplifter.
old.
She's a
That's-
shoplifter.
That's old. Let that die. That's hurtful. Too soon.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon.
So I really like the show.
I mean, I don't see how people can't like this show.
No, it's really good. It has a feeling like Fringe meets Twin Peaks.
I would totally agree with that.
Because you can't, in Twin Peaks, you couldn't really tell what time it was exactly. And it kind of has that same feeling in Stranger Things as well.
Well, I get a lot of the 1980s
It's more
vibe.
80s into 90s.
I think you get the 80s vibe because of the font they use, right? And because of how they do the intro. It's very much like a 1980s show. I was like, is the Hulk, where's Bruce Banner? Is like the Hulk coming on soon? Like,
And
is
they're
it
in
Knight
Indiana,
Rider?
and they're playing D&D.
Which is super fabulous. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the episodes go back to D&D, go back to the Demogorgon and to the Veil of Shadows, and they take things back and they speak in D&D terms. So I thought that was super fabulous too. So if you like role-playing games, this is just another thing to like reinforce it. And if you didn't know what they were, it just kind of shows you that, hey, these kids are all friends and they're social and they like each other, and yes, they're goofy nerds, but hey.
You have someone named Wolf Gamer that says, "Hi, Mrs. Guzman."
Hi, it's probably one of my children. Hi, one of my children. Hopefully, one of my children who's going on to high school.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. So, Patrick says, "Whoa, the new set area looks great."
Oh, yay.
Oh, Stranger Things is so awesome. So, yeah, no, we've been working on this for a long time. It was a labor of love and hate.
Who's your favorite character in Stranger Things?
I really like 11.
I mean, 11's kind of obvious. Okay, let's say we take 11 off the table because who doesn't like Elle, right? Like, you can't not like her. So who's your favorite character aside from her?
I really like the sheriff.
Yeah.
I really like the sheriff.
And you don't at first, right? At first you're like,
What a jerk.
this tool, right? And then you're like, oh, dang it, I like that tool. You know?
But when I'm looking at him, I'm looking at it from a role player game aspect, and he would be an awesome player character. He seems like a player character that just goes in and one of those
I love how he's
barbarians.
I love
that
how
goes
he's
in
like
and,
Punchy McPuncherton. Like, it's like, you gotta solve something, I'll punch it. You know, it's like, I love that.
Patrick says Dustin.
Oh, with his no teeth. And do you know that little boy, that little actor? He really has that dysplasia. He really has that, and I forgot the scientific name for it. But he really doesn't have teeth. Like, they are not going to grow in for a very long time.
Thomas is on. Hi, Thomas.
Oh, Tom.
He says, "I hope they have plans to put Stranger Things on DVD. I need to get next one. Yeah, you definitely need to get Netflix. So definitely check that out. It's awesome.
It's so worth it.
I'm sure they will put it on DVD.
The next Netflix subscription. I don't know if Netflix puts their things on DVD. Because they're available on Netflix. Do they put like Orange is the New Black and stuff like that?
Well,
Do they put them
I've
out?
got what was it with Kevin Spacey? What was it? The political one they put out.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know they put out a political one with Kevin Spacey.
House of Cards?
Yes.
House of Cards? I haven't seen that one.
Yes, because I bought that on Blu-ray, which was excellent.
Yeah, they have Orange is the New Black on Blu-ray.
Original. Oh, okay. So you can see that. Well,
so
that's
Patrick
good, Tom.
says Dustin.
Okay, I can see why Dustin.
And then Michelle says
Dustin's
Ryder.
the brains. Who?
Michelle says Ryder.
Ryder. Which one's Ryder?
I don't know which one's Ryder.
Which one's Ryder?
Which one's Ryder? And I think
I'm like, I know Jonathan and Nancy and Will and Mike and Luke and Dustin and Elle, and I'm like, which one's
and
Ryder?
he thinks Matrazo is the generation's chunk.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is totally this generation. Yes. Oh my God, you're so right. That is spot on. That is exactly what I was thinking the first time I saw that kid. Right.
He says you guys need the '80s style VHS tape case prop.
I do have some 80s style tapes.
Oh, Winona Ryder.
Oh, Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder, the mom.
But she acts really well in this. Like,
Yeah.
she's super believable without, like, giving away too much of the
She
show.
looks like she's going through some issues.
Yeah. Her acting was really spot on in this. I was really, like, impressed with her. Like, when she's holding that bundle of lights and stuff, it's just,
When
like, you
I
get all the
first-
feels, right?
I didn't realize that because I didn't pay attention to the opening credits. Or maybe I did, but when I saw her for the first time, I didn't see Winona Ryder.
Yeah, you didn't even know it was her at first, and then you
I
were
didn't
like,
know it was her. Wait,
hey,
that's
wait a minute.
that's
Is Winona
Winona
Ryder
Ryder.
in this? And I was like, yeah, dude, you didn't see it in the credits. He's like, oh my God, I think that's her. And I'm like, yes, like 10 minutes ago, that was her. Yeah, it does, because, well, her and Matthew Modine. When you first see Matthew Modine, you're like, oh my God, is that what he looks like?
We have another one, debomb.com. Mrs. Guzman, it's Jasmine. Hi.
Oh, hi, Jasmine.
So yeah, she's Mrs. G, it's Jasmine, hi. I guess she wants you to say hi to her.
Jasmine's one of my kiddos. My students watch my show, so that's why we try to keep it PG. Although we tend to be a little Curserton sometime, but
Very
not too
rarely.
bad. Not too bad. We try to
Very
keep
rarely.
it pretty PG, so that the kids can watch. So I like my students. I would like for them to learn how to have conversations without cussing too much, because they tend to cuss like sailors.
Well, I mean, that's just like a thing right
That was the nice thing
now.
about Stranger Things, though, unless I didn't notice it, but
The kids didn't cuss.
they don't cuss, right?
No. Mm-mm. Not at all.
It's like that good,
because that
like,
wasn't really a
19
thing as much back then. Maybe you would do it like, but not as much as it is now.
And it wasn't
It's
even
like
necessary. Like, they
every
get the
other
story
word
apart.
is like a cuss word now. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Like, even when the kids are picking on each other and being bullies, it didn't come to that, right? It just, like, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away because I wanted to say some other things, but I don't want to say too much about it. But people should definitely watch it. Like, the interactions between the kids, like the bully that's there. It's so 1980s style. And the parents, like, nowadays, these parents would be at CPS for all the stuff they let their kids do, and, like, don't know, like, all the helicopter parents nowadays, they would faint and fall over if they parented like the people in this show. But that was how we all grew up.
thebomb.com says, I totally don't cuss.
Jasmine
It's
probably
good.
doesn't cuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably doesn't. But
And
a
then
lot
she
of the,
says, Kaylee? Hi?
Kaylee says hi too.
I guess.
Okay.
Is that a friend? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna name off my whole roster of kids.
I was like, I don't know who you're talking about.
You're like, I don't know any of these kids.
So yeah, no, I really liked it. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. It really is, especially from our generation. Even if you're not from our generation, you'll still find things in common with it.
Well, when I first saw that very first episode, I thought, how smart to pander to our generation, because we're the ones who are starting to have money and pay attention to things. You know, I was just like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes when you bring it back to those old school things that you were like really into, you're going to continue to be really into it. You can't help yourself. So I think that that's kind of really smart, you know. We're at that age bracket where they could probably bring some of that stuff back and do really well.
Yeah.
We're the ones watching TV and paying for
E.T.
things. And no, not a second. Oh, God, he said E.T. too. That was painful.
I can't wait for the video game.
Oh, E.T. Are they making one?
No.
No?
No, he just found one of those ones that they got out of the landfill.
Horrible. You
She's
smell
like,
it.
I loved it. Oh, smells like feet and booty.
I had that game. I actually bought it and played it. It was horrible.
No, it was super horrible.
You didn't like falling in holes? Oh.
I like Pitfall.
Dude, Atari games were just rough, dude. Like, when you think back to it, they were
Compared
so
to now.
jerky and rough and trying to jump and everything. Atari games were the worst. The absolute worst. I can't even imagine.
Oh, Wolf Gamer is Kaylee. Ms. Guzman, do it. By the way, it's Kaylee.
Oh.
She wants you to do what? What were we talking about?
Oh. There's a lag, so by the time you read it, we're like past whatever conversation that they were hearing. So there's some kind of lag for them. So we're like, we've moved on.
Thomas says, welcome to my world. They started talking about rebooting the $6 Million Man. So now it would have to be the $6 Billion Man.
Still, he'd make his own sound effects.
Mrs. Guzman, do you play Pokemon Go?
I play Pokemon Go all day, every day. All right? I'm on level 19. I have 99 Pokemon in my Pokedex. And when we went to Indianapolis, there was a bunch of Drowsies and stuff there. And I had been saving up my Pokemon. I evolved 20 Pokemon. I got a medal for evolving 20 Pokemon in like one go. And I jumped from level 16 to level 19. Boom, 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 boom. So, yeah.
You're really popular tonight. Mrs. Guzman, remember when you yelled at me?
I don't yell at children. Please. That's a lie. I've never yelled at anybody ever. You know what? Did you take the new update to Pokemon Go?
Yeah, where it has the grass in the background?
And then when I drive, it tells me, are you a passenger?
And you say yes.
And I'm like, yes, of course I am. Look, I'll have to turn down my stuff. Look at my Pokedex.
Atari Indiana Jones was an exercise in abject frustration.
It's a good Pokedex. Can you see it?
TheBomb.com says, I love Pokemon Go. I am
Darn
level
it.
24 in Pokemon Go.
Oh, okay. Well, don't rub it in. Okay, I had to go to college this summer. What did you do?
Apply cold water. to
I'm
that.
play
level
Pokemon Go.
17. Doug's is
Hey, if you got some good ones, Jasmine, let me know. I'm missing like water ones. I still haven't gotten like Lapras. I need more Slowpokes.
Doug's saying, what's so important on your phone? Smile.
My Pokemon?
It's because Doug,
Oh, because he keeps bugging you?
No, he just sent 2. I was looking at it just in
My
case.
Butterfree is too cute. I love Butterfree.
Aw.
Hey, did y'all know? Vincent taught me this, and this is the best thing ever. I just got to do this one time. So, like when you press on the Pokemon in the Pokédex, and then they make a little sound.
No, that's when you go, not in the Pokédex.
Oh, no, not in the Pokédex.
It's when
I'm
you
sorry.
go to,
When you go to Pokemon, and then... you
But there's
press
there's only one that talks.
and they do stuff. The Butterfree just flies. He doesn't do anything. But
What?
if you go to Pikachu...
No, wait, let me do that one.
No, I want to do Pikachu.
I want to do a Pikachu. You beat me.
Pikachu! Pikachu! Yeah, it's my super favorite thing. So, our producer is an actual Pokemon player. Like, played it on the Game Boy, played it on...
Better red than dead.
Better Red than Dead. Oh, what team are y'all? Better Red than Dead. I'm Team Instinct. But are you playing now, Pokemon
I
Go?
was
Did you
playing
succumb?
Pokemon Go,
But?
and halfway through our vacation, it wouldn't log me into the servers anymore.
Oh, you know what?
TheBomb.com says you really need more Pokemon. Thomas says, I have a flip phone, and when I catch a Pokemon, someone keeps yelling at me, bring back my dog. I may not quite understand how it works. Well, when you get a phone
When you
that's
get
not
a
a flip phone,
smartphone.
when you get a smartphone, it's a lot of fun. It's like Ingress, but it's Pokemon.
Ingress is better. What?
Who said that? Saboteurs everywhere. Well, you know what? I've had 2 friends now, 2 friends
had it
that have told me
first.
that it like logged them out, like killed their whole game and started them all the way back, like from the beginning.
Oh, I won't do that. I have infinite login screen. After clearing the caches,
Really?
uninstalling it, reinstalling it,
That's crazy.
I just get
Wow.
a spinning Pokeball of death.
They heard you talking smack about Pokemon Go, and that was it.
Patrick says no team. You haven't chosen the team yet?
Still, come on, Patrick.
Team Mystic.
Instinct.
Team Mystic.
Yeah,
We're both Team Mystic.
Instinct,
I'm just trying to get people to go Instinct.
Team
like,
Potato.
Team Rocket. Oh,
Team
wait.
Rocket. Team Diglett.
Team Diglett. No.
Team
No.
Lickitung.
He's so excited.
And that
He's
was
on
an
the
actual
Lickitung.
Pokemon. And you
Yeah.
were, that's not a Pokemon.
Lickitung.
I was like, Lickitung. That's not a Pokemon. I was
I
like,
thought
yeah,
you
it's
sounded
a
like you were making
Pokemon.
things up. I think Vince makes up his own Pokemon. He's like, I'm gonna go catch that. It's not a Pokemon. I'm like, I don't even know.
Okay, thebomb.com. She says, but yo, I remember she yelled at me in 8th period.
In 8th period. No, I don't remember 8th period at all.
Next question.
This is from Wolfgamer. Is there a new update on where you can trade your Pokemon with each other? I need more Pokemon.
They're still working.
And Wolfgamer says Team Valor. They're still working on it because they were supposed to come out with that a while ago.
Because when we were in Indy, I captured a bunch of the Jinx. Because
Mm-hmm.
they had a bunch of Jinx, high-level Jinx there. Well, for me, high-level. So I wanted to
And
trade
they had a
them.
bunch of what?
Bunch of Drowsies.
Drowsies. A bunch of Drowsies, yeah.
Oh, and the Seal and the Dugong, the bunch of those too. So I captured a bunch, and I kind of have them in the reserves because I'm waiting and hoping that when they get to the transfer part, that then I can start transferring so that I can get some of the stuff. And then I heard that there's a way that you can like mess with the GPS or whatever, and you make it think that you're in another country because there's some. But if you do, you get banned from the game.
Yeah, they just had the permaban started.
Yep. So be careful.
So you can't do it on your computer anymore.
Nope.
Then.
No.
No emulators.
So don't do that.
Yeah, be careful if you're reading this
Patrick
stuff and
says,
trying
nope,
to do it.
I don't want to do it to pick a team. To keep leveling up, no team, I'm a loner. Dottie a rebel.
That
And
was a Pee Wee Herman reference. That was great.
And Thomas says, like a Chihuahuazar.
Chihuahuazar.
The Bomb.con, such a liar. Such a liar.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hey, I don't teach my kids spelling, so it's not my fault they can't spell. I teach them science. Hopefully they know science.
The Bomb.com says Team Taco.
Team Taco.
Team Taco.
That is the awesome.
That would be the team to go for. Team Taco.
We're all wearing sombreros while we play.
So we
That's
have
all about.
Pokemon. We have done a lot of Pokemon. We also got to finally go see a movie, which was nice.
We did get to see a movie. We did. And did we see more than just that one?
Jeez, I don't know.
Because I wanted to see the new Bourne.
Oh, we haven't seen
Jason
that one.
Bourne.
Haven't seen that.
But we haven't seen that one yet. But yes, we actually got to see Suicide Squad.
And I was scared. Let me tell you, I was scared to begin with because I thought, as much as everybody has bashed this movie, I thought, are we really going to pay to go see this thing? But I really wanted to see it. But then I was scared because I saw Batman versus Superman, and that was kind of like really awful. So then I was like, do I really
It wasn't
wanna...
awful.
It was awful.
It was awful. Thank you.
We
Christopher.
still have to see the Ultimate Edition. Then we can... We need to see that soon, and then...
I will watch
give
it
our-
with you just because I feel
A lot
like
of
it's
people
my
have
duty.
changed there from I hate it to... It was a good
tolerable.
movie,
Yeah.
It was tolerable.
I felt like it was tolerable. Batman versus Superman. I didn't love it, but it was tolerable. Like, you know,
Well,
I didn't want to gouge my eyes
without
out like I
trying
did
to
at
spoil stuff.
Fantastic
So we
Four.
won't try to spoil anything
I'm gonna
because
spoil everything.
no, not yet, not yet. We will, but not yet. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a really good movie.
I really did think Suicide Squad was a good movie. I really, really did. Yeah.
And of course, I like everything, but I thought it was legitimately a good movie.
I think
And all this flack that Jared Leto was a horrible Joker, I thought he was a great Joker.
he was.
He was
a good,
very creepy.
He was super
as a
creepy.
Joker.
Yeah. He gave me the El
I think
Creeperinos.
he's the creepiest Joker that we've ever seen. But isn't that Joker supposed to be creepy?
I think so. I mean, maybe I haven't read it enough. I would love to get some opinions from somebody who's like really into the comics. I know a lot of people loved Heath Ledger as the Joker, right? To them, like Heath Ledger epitomized what it was to be the
He
Joker.
was a good Joker, but this one was a different Joker.
He was
but
a different
he
Joker.
was a different
he was
Joker.
creepy. He was a really good... The only thing that bothered me was the teeth. Like all the bling on his teeth, there was
Yeah.
like too much. I felt like they kind of like pushed it a little too far, and and it was distracting from his characterization. Sometimes for me personally, but he seemed really like very, very creepy, and you really believed like he was gonna do something crazy, like you know he was gonna go too far. You know what I mean? And he was gonna enjoy it. You know, it's like so he was really good. I would agree with. That Harley Quinn stole the show. Her and
He was hot.
she was super hot. She was totally hot. Yeah. But her acting, I think,
Yeah, it was really good.
even had she not been like super hot, like I think she just like her personality comes across, right? That personality that like I'm a crazy person, you know, I'm talking to myself, I hear the voices, I'm gonna cut you, you know.
And you start to see the stuff that Joker does to her to get her to that point.
That was the other thing I really love about this movie is they show you backstory on all of the characters.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with the characters and you've not read the comic books and you're going in going, I don't really know who these guys are, right? They show you just enough backstory that they don't like bore you to death, but they let you like know, you get to know them, and so you care, right? So that's the nice thing. Like you care when they're in these scenes where something might happen to them. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Thomas says John Ostrander, the writer of Suicide Squad in the 80s, really liked the movie. I
Oh,
think
good.
it was good.
I thought it was
even the
good.
changes that they made, a lot of people said that it was
Too bubblegum.
choppy.
Oh, I didn't think it was choppy. I didn't feel that at all.
That it didn't transition well. I didn't think it was choppy like that.
You know who else was good was what's her name? She played the one who orchestrates everything. It just went right out of my brain.
Angela. Is it Angela? She's on like all the shows.
The character's name is like Amanda, right?
But it's Viola Davis.
Yes. I don't know why I can't think. Now I gotta look.
Yeah,
it up 'cause it's gonna
Amanda something.
be
Something
Waller,
with a name.
right?
Huh?
Right. Waller.
Something like that.
I
think it's
she's
Amanda
another
Waller.
one who steals the show.
Yes.
Like, talk about somebody who's
is
scary
hardcore.
as all. She's hardcore. She scares the crud out of you. You're like, I don't like her. Yeah, Amanda Waller. That was her name.
Amanda Waller, yeah.
Viola Davis, and she's
who would
beautiful.
make a great boyfriend for Harley Quinn?
Well, the Joker's already her boyfriend.
TheBomb.com says me. Yeah, Thomas Harris is Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
So she's been in The Flash. She's been in Arrow. And she's been in like the Justice League cartoons.
And we get a little glimpse of the Flash in this movie, right? We saw just a tiny glimpse of who that's going to be and what that's going to be like.
I don't know. And they said he was going to be dark. I didn't see him as dark. I didn't see him any different as the CW Flash.
Yeah, you don't get much of a look into what he's like. So...
Because he was like kind of jokey, just kind of like Barry Allen should be.
Yeah. I don't know. It was super quick, so it was hard to...
I don't. Maybe I don't seem to... I don't think I'll hate him, but I'd still prefer...
Still prefer Grant. Like, he
Grant
still
Gustin.
is...
He's
still the Flash. The other thing that we kind of get a glimpse of, not in the movie, but in the previews, is the new Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
I got a really good, like, Agent Carter kind of vibe from that preview of that movie.
This preview was a lot better than the ones we've seen before.
Yeah, so I get that. I got that, like...
She looks a lot more kick-ass in this one.
Yeah, like, she's got that vibe down, and she's got that, like, femme fatale going on, right? And, like, I'm a girl, and I'm
Hoodie says Joker and Harley is not a healthy relationship. No, it's probably
Oh, yeah, no, like, totally, it's totally not. And you get to see all of that, like, how unhealthy that relationship is. They give you some insight.
But you see that they have this connection to each other. You do see that.
You do. It's a real creepy, kind of weird, like, obsession, ownership, right? Kind of. Mm-hmm. And they try to give you this underlying love package with it. It's very, it in and of itself is very creepy. Just their relationship is creepy. And you begin to kind of, like, you want to smack Harley around, right?
Yeah.
You kind of feel for her. She's kind of loony. So I don't know. I thought that was all really good.
I don't know. I don't see why people are complaining about it.
I can tell you why they complain. This is why they complain. The bad guy, although it's not a bad guy because they're bad guys too, but
well, yeah,
the anti-hero.
But that's not the stuff that I've heard them upset about.
They should have been upset about
that. They should have been upset
think?
About that because that's the only aspect of it I didn't like.
So the villain, the super villain or whatever, is too big, too powerful, too mighty.
And I won't say who it is because it kind of spoils things.
Yeah, but it's like you get to the point in the movie where you're like, okay, we know that they're going to get defeated because it's a movie, but, like, it's going to be real stupid because it shouldn't happen. Like, there's no reason it should happen. It shouldn't go about, like, all of these fools should be dead. right? It's just like, it's one of those things, right? So as you're watching it, that kind of drug me down a little. Like the first part of the movie where I'm meeting the characters, I'm like really kind of excited and happy. And then the second part of the movie where we're getting into the whole like big fight scene and stuff, I was just like, oh, that's really lame, you'd be dead. That's really stupid, you'd be dead. Like, I don't know. That moment killed the momentum.
But one character was really powerful.
True story, and they kind of save that for the end so that you kind of like don't know that's
like,
gonna.
Where it kind of can be believable, a little bit. I think had they not changed it and stuck with what they're originally going to before they did the whole debacle with the Batman versus Superman change.
I just think that DC has a problem when they get to these fight scenes. I don't know who's writing for them, or if they don't know how to do these transitions, or if they don't know. Like, I realize that the comics are over the top, right? And there's all these ridiculous powers and everybody's fighting each other, but there's usually some kind of semblance of order and balance. When we get to these DC movies, it's like too much, right? Or we're using man's weapons against something that obviously wouldn't be affected by that. Or, it's just, like, I don't think that DC has the right connection. Like, at least with the Avengers, you got this teamwork going on, and like everybody's using their powers and stuff, and so, you know what I mean? For me, it worked better. It works better with the Marvel movies
Apocalypse
so far.
worked better than this. That's what you're
And
saying.
even Apocalypse was pretty far-fetched for me. Even Apocalypse was, at some points I was like, but at least with Jean, like in Apocalypse, like Jean is supposed to be that one kind of superpower in all the X-Men universe that it's like so far out there. And maybe I think of it too from an RPG standpoint, right? Like if I was playing these RPGs and we had these godlike characters, nobody would want to play with them because you can't like kill them. Pokemon. So I don't know. That was the downfall that I saw in this movie, was that they didn't do that kind of transitioning very well.
No,
we didn't get to a believable.
But for the most part,
battle.
it was a good movie.
At least they didn't battle and like find out all their moms' names were the same, and then they were like, "Let's be friends."
Oh, let's be friends.
I really hated that movie.
That doesn't get fixed in the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, no. There's nothing you can do to fix that. You just can't fix it.
There's no coming back from that.
There's no coming back from that.
Let's hug it out, bro.
Let's hug it. We love each other.
And then you die.
So you want to do a giveaway?
I'm going to do a giveaway. We got these at GenCon. It's a deck box for your collectible card games.
And Chris, tell Vincent once again who the little character is.
Nancat.
Nancat.
It's Nancat.
Meow, 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 meow. Show him the other one.
And this is the blue
Ninja Nancat.
Ninja Nancat.
Oh, don't move it so much. You're making us all sick. Jesus.
Just you.
And then I have a deck.
I have another deck box over
I
there.
have a deck vault. So this one's metal. And it's green, so Vince couldn't show it because then it would show through.
Metal.
It's metal.
Thomas says, Martha!
Sucks. Okay.
And the bomb.com says, who would take me to see Suicide Squad? Tell one of your
mom.
friends. Tell your mom to take
Your dad,
you.
your brother, your sister, your uncle, your cousin, your grandma. The Via bus. Just like
Via.
ride the Via. That's what I used to do when I was a kid. I got a bus pass. I went on with my friends on a Via bus, and we went places. It happens. So what?
The bomb.com says they want it.
She wants it.
So
What are they gonna have to do?
I don't know.
All right. We have to watch the episode. We're gonna give you some kind of trivia question tomorrow on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And if you can answer the trivia question from what we talked about in the episode, then we'll put you in the drawing to win the deck box. And then if you win, we'll message you and we'll send you a deck box.
Yeah. So what, the first 3?
Yep.
Yeah, the first 3 to answer that on our Facebook page will win one. So
Not the first 3. We're going to take everybody who's right, and then we're going to pick 3 names.
and pick 3 names.
Yep.
and just like, and yeah, you have to like us on Facebook
Duh, they
and
already
subscribe
like
to us on YouTube.
Yeah.
So definitely subscribe to us and get your friends to subscribe to us. That's not a just get your friends to subscribe.
Have your
to
neighbors
us.
subscribe to us too
Yeah.
while you're at it, and just like go
And
in
your
the neighborhood and knock on
parents
doors
and your
say, "Have you subscribed to
cousins.
Geek Out SA? Have you subscribed to Geek Out SA?"
You should.
Because knowing is half the battle. All right, G.I. Joe, guess what time it is? Booyah.
TheBomb.com says I'll pay you $1,
I'll pay you $1.
but I don't have Facebook.
What?
Can you not have Facebook?
Oh, because Facebook
Because they
is
don't
for
like
old
Facebook.
people.
It's for old people.
Yep, I forgot about that.
Well, then get your parents
To like us.
to like us.
We'll think of something. We'll think of something for you non-Facebook users where we're going to get hip with you new children generation. Maybe we'll do an Instagram something. We have other prizes, so we'll keep doing prizes.
TheBomb.com. I'm subscribed.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
All right, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Oh, Geeky Hoodie says, you like Dex? Yes, I like... we play App 2.0 at GenCon. So that was cool. We're going to close this out. What did we talk about? We talked about GenCon.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Stranger Things. We talked about Suicide Squad. But don't really do that. It's not
No,
good for
that's
you.
terrible. Oh, dear God.
That's something that happens in the movie.
Okay, stop talking about the movie.
You should
Spoiler
de-
alert.
you should de-
Spoiling. Stop spoiling things.
you should definitely see
Stop
it.
attempting.
Go see it. Go see it. Go see it now. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Chris.
Woot.
Check us out next week. Geek Out SA.